Welcome to, this is HSK 3, week 7, day 4. And this is a fun lesson. We have a bunch of things to go over, and it's kind of mind-bending. We're going to be looking at more ways to use question words in statements. And it's fun stuff. I'm not sure how quickly you'll take to it, but it's fun, and it helps you to see how Chinese works, and definitely works differently from English. Okay, so I titled it, "You want to do what, 就 do what." This structure makes up most of the lesson, although there's a few things I'll share that are a little outside of that, particularly the first one. So let's look at this first. We're going to look at a couple different versions of an idea, which is 想, want. So the first thing is 想 plus verb plus 就 plus verb. And this is, start with an example that's right down here. It's 想吃就吃. If it means want eat, 就 eat. So that means if you want to eat, go ahead and eat, or eat if you want to, or you want to eat, 就 eat. Does that make sense? So eat, eat if you want to. Here we have another example. 想买就买. If you want to buy, just buy it. If you want to buy it, just buy it. 不用, it's 问我. It's not necessary to ask me. If you want to buy it, just buy it. These examples are both from All Set Learning, or All Set without the learning there, AS. Anyway, did I rub it off, or did I just not write it? I'm not sure. Okay, so that's the first idea. 想 verb, 就 verb. If you want to eat it, just eat it. If you want to buy it, just buy it. If you want to do it, just do it. So that's, in that example, it would be taking out the word what here. It's like you want to do something, then do something. Does that mean that if you want to do a certain action, then do that certain action? That's the idea. So now we're going to look at the fuller phrase, which is let me show you the formula here. It's 想 plus verb plus question word, 就 plus verb plus question word. Now, why is there a question word in here? And in Chinese, there really isn't an equivalent of ever in the sense of wherever, whenever, or however, for however long. Those kinds of things. In English, we can take a question word like where, and we can put an ever on it to mean any place. But in Chinese, there's no word like that. And so what they'll do is they'll take a question word the beginning of the phrase, and then the same question word in the other thing to make them equal, and say it means, if it's the word shama, what, then having those two shamas will mean whatever. If the word is shama shihou, meaning when, then if you have those two shama shihou side by side, it'll mean whenever or wherever. And here's an example of wherever. This is also from All Set Learning. 想去哪儿就去哪儿. Okay, so you want, the assumption is we're talking to somebody, you want go where. You want go where, 就 go where. You want go where, 就 go where. Just go wherever you want to. Go, does that make sense? Go wherever you want to. But the way the Chinese works is want go where, 就 go where. So those two wheres equal each other. The place you want to go that place. Does that make sense? You want to go where? That where, meaning anywhere, then go that where. Go to that place. Go wherever you want. I hope you can follow that, because it's actually kind of brilliant and opens up, just a whole world in Chinese. 想点什么? Okay, here, 点, this means you know this as little or drop, but here it doesn't mean that at all. It's a verb meaning to order food, or to order something. So you want to order what? 就 order what? 我请客. I'm treating. In other words, order whatever you want. I'm treating. Does that make sense? 想点什么就点什么，想点什么就点什么。What you want, it's order. This is closer in English to this idea. Order what you want to. Order what you want to, but it really means order whatever you want to. But I'm trying to think of a parallel to this, like what idea in Chinese. Okay, that's the idea. You can use any question word. We could say 什么时候你想 or 想什么时候去就什么时候去 When you want to go, just go. Go at that time. Just isn't quite the right word there. Go whenever you want to. Now, this idea of having two question words there in these phrases, it can be broadened beyond this idea of 想. So it's like here we have a bunch of whatever you want or whenever you want or wherever you want. We always have want. But this idea is actually not limited to the phrase 想, like do whatever, whenever, however long. It's not limited to just 想. It can be broadened way beyond that. So let me show you here an example of 我唱什么你也唱什么 So I sing what? You also sing what? I sing what? You also sing what? What does that mean? Sing whatever I sing. Does that make sense? I sing whatever I sing. You could say 你吃什么我也吃什么 I'm eating whatever you're eating. 你吃什么我也吃什么 Or 你干多久我也干多久 You're going to do it for how long? I'm going to also do it for how long? What does that mean? It means I'm going to do it as long as you do it, for as much time as you do it. Does that make sense? So this is a very awesome idea of how Chinese works, and I hope you can follow all that. And in the next segment, we're going to have some more fun with question words. Okay, now we're back with another idea that is also really exciting, and this is using a question word to say every, or actually I think more accurately it's any. And let me take you back to an example that we looked to an idea, a concept, and an example of that concept that we learned in HSK 2. It was this. We learned that 什么都 as a phrase can mean every of something. And this is actually an example that I took right from the lesson. It's 什么菜都很好吃. It means what 菜 mean or dish. So what dish 都很好吃. So 什么菜 it means all the dishes are good. And so it means every dish or all of the dishes, each of the dishes, however you want to say it, are tasty. So it's in English we'd say all of the dishes are tasty. In Chinese it's 什么菜都很好吃. So why do I say any might be a better translation than every? It's because it kind of more closely fits the way the Chinese is put together. The word dou, here we have 什么菜, what dish, any of the dishes, 都很好吃. I feel like it might actually be a better it might fit conceptually better than every. So any are all good. Even though that's very awkward English, it is still understandable. Any of them are all good. Or, if you pick one of them, that one's also good. Any of them are all good. You can't say every are all good. I don't think that's like totally, circuits blown. So any of them are all good. I can kind of put that together in my mind. Any of the dishes are all good. Okay, now here's the deal. This was just one example of a broader concept. And that concept is that any question word, not just 什么, but any question word can have the same function to mean every of something or any of something. And I put some question words. This is not an exhaustive list. There are other question words other than this, but I put some question words, and then I'm just going to give you a spoken example of how that can mean any of something. So 几点 means what time. So how do we say anytime is all good? It's going to be 几点 plus 都. So if someone says, when do you want to go? I can say 几点都可以. That means whatever time is fine. 几点都可以. Anytime is fine. Does that make sense? Anytime is fine. Whatever time is fine. These are different ways to say it in English, but it's expressing the same idea. 几点都可以. 什么时候? Same idea. Exactly. This just means when. This means what time. This means when. I could use the exact same example. 什么时候都可以. 什么时候都可以. 多长时间? How long do you want to be there? The answer could be 多长时间都好. 多长时间? That means how long. This means how long time. So how long time 都好 is all good. So any length of time is all good, or whatever length of time is all good. 哪里? Same idea. We saw this. We saw this in the example from the last clip. 你想去哪里? 去哪儿? 哪里 and 哪儿 the same thing. 你想去哪儿就去哪儿. You want to go where? Just go. Then just go where? I mean, it's not exactly the same thing, but it's a connected idea. So I could say, someone says, where do you want to go? I could say 哪里都可以. Any place is good. Anywhere is okay. Anywhere. 怎么? How do you want to do it? 怎么做都可以. How to do 都可以. Make sense? 多少? 你要多少? How much do you want? 多少都可以. There we go. Anything? Or I could say, 怎么做都很好. Yeah. 谁? Okay, here's one. 谁都, if I'm talking about a certain group of people, like the Maasai in, I think it's Kenya, I think they generally are tall. So let's say I want to say the Maasai are all tall. I can say Maasai 谁都很高. Maasai 谁 whoever who 都很高. There I threw 高 into another example. Yay! Or I could simply say, if I just want to say all people have sin. I think I used this example before. 每个人都有罪. 每个人, every person. Another way to say the same idea is 谁都有罪. Who or whoever, all or any person, 谁都有罪 has sin. 星期几, that would be what day of the week. 你想星期几去呢? 你想星期几去呢? What day of the week do you want to go? 星期几都可以. Any day of the week. 都可以. Does that make sense? So this is a really cool concept to talk about any of something, all being something, or every of something, instead of actually saying every, like, sometimes you can't even use the word every in order to, like, I guess you can use any sometimes, any time of day, any o'clock, any o'clock, what o'clock, what time, any o'clock. Anyway, there you go. So this is a really cool concept. I hope you're catching it. And I hope you can think of your own examples to kind of flesh it out and make it real in your mind. To confuse you more, question words can also be used to say some in the sense of somewhere, meaning at some place or someone or something or some time. And I have an example here of each of them. And how do you tell the difference? Does the question word mean all of something, like each of something, any time is good, or just, well, the sentence, the way to tell the difference is that the way the sentences are put together are different, but also anytime that you have something meaning any of this are all, you're gonna have the phrase do in it. So that's when it means every or anytime or wherever, that kind of thing. If it's trying to say sometime or somewhere or some question word like that, then it's not going to have that do in it. So that's the kind of like the simple clue. All right, let me give you an example of where it means somewhere. Literally translated, this means this song I heard before. All of these examples are from All Set Learning. 这首歌, this song I heard. Okay, what it means is I heard this song somewhere before. I've heard this song somewhere. But so the object in this is not part of what I'm teaching. It's just the way the sentence is put together. This is a topic sentence where the object is put first. So it's like, this song, I've heard it somewhere. 这首歌我在哪儿? At some place. So I heard it at some place, somewhere. Does that make sense? So even though it sounds like if this had a question mark at the end of the sentence and was said with a question tone, it would be this song, where did I hear it before? Where have I heard it? But it's not a question, it's a statement. And how do you know the difference? It's usually clear in context. It's usually clear by tone of voice. But the grammar is exactly as if it was, the way the structure of the sentence is exactly the way it would be if it's a question asking, where have I heard this song before? But instead it's saying, I have heard this song somewhere before. Does that make sense? Here we have another example. 你让谁来帮我一下? All right, and the same idea. It's written as if it was the same grammar as a question, but it's not asking a question. It's saying someone. So who? This means who. 谁? Who? And then also this is a causative verb, 让, to make, to make or to cause. 你让谁来帮我一下? So 帮我一下 means to help me for a bit. 来 means to come. So you call someone to come help me, or get somebody to help me for a bit. That's what that means. Get somebody to help me get some person, somebody, someone to help me for a bit. But it's using 谁 to mean someone. It's not meaning everyone. It's meaning someone, right? There's a difference there. And it's also not asking, who are you going to get to help me? Because it's not a question, it's a statement. Here was something. 我想喝点什么? 我想喝点什么? Now, this means I want to drink something. I want to drink a little of something. So this 点 here, it does literally mean a little of, but it doesn't, it's sort of like just thrown in there as sort of, it makes it sound good. It's kind of like saying, I want to drink a bit of something, but it doesn't necessarily mean a super small amount. I just want to drink something, basically. I want to drink something. 我想喝点什麼? So the 什么 means something. Now this, if you put the 你 here, if you replace 我 with 你 and make it into a question, this is a very common question. 你想喝点什麼? What would you like to drink a bit of? If you're the host, it's very common to say, 你想喝点什麼? What can I get for you? And but if you make it into a statement instead of a question, it means I want to drink a bit of something. Here we have some time. 我们什么时候去看看他吧? We, at some point, at some time, 去看看, go see him 吧. So it's a suggestion. So in other words, let's go visit him sometime. 我们什么时候去看看他吧? Does that make sense? So, like I said, this lesson was kind of mind-bending in some ways. Basically, the whole lesson, all three segments were about how to use question words to do things that aren't questions, basically, to how to say, whatever time is all good, or whatever you want to eat that, and those kinds of things. There's a lot of ways that these question words can be used to make statements. So I think it's really cool, really exciting stuff. But it is a little bit mind bending, and hopefully you've been able to wrap your mind around. And the more you hear it in conversation, the more it'll feel natural to you. So keep up the good work. You're doing amazing. We are almost at the end of HSK 3. Don't give up. Keep going for it. And I'll see you in the next video.